In the age of warring provinces and fragile peace, there lived a samurai named Kenjiro. Records describe him as unusually tall, broad in frame, disciplined beyond measure. He rose through battle, not through lineage, and by his 30th year, he served directly under the emperor. Campaigns ended where he marched. Border disputes ceased after his arrival. Villages marked the passing of his banners as one might mark the changing of seasons. He was known for precision rather than mercy. Orders given to him were executed without delay or debate. Those who followed him trusted that obedience would mean survival. Those who opposed him rarely survived long enough to revise their judgment. Over time, his presence became symbolic, an assurance that the throne's will would be enforced. At court, his reputation grew faster than his influence. Ministers praised him publicly and measured him privately. The emperor rewarded him with land, with marriage into a respected house, with titles that bound him closer to the throne. Kenjiro accepted each honor as duty, not ambition. He did not cultivate allies. He did not speak against authority. His loyalty was uncomplicated. That was how he understood himself.
I am the storm given legs, my katana, a hymn the dead already know. Empires settle on my shoulders. My gaze learns steel how to break. They kneel, not to me, but to the thunder that walks in my shadow. My wife's laughter is the only quiet I trust. My children wear the stars I bled into the sky. I do not question the blade. It learned my name before mercy ever did. I am Kenjiro the Unyielding. Let the world tremble, and call its fear honor.
When word arrived of unrest beyond the northern passes, Kenjiro was sent ahead of the main force. The threat was described as minor, but urgent. He departed without hesitation. The ambush occurred at dawn, in a narrow pass where mist clung low to the ground. Arrows fell before signals were given. Units assigned to guard his flanks withdrew instead. Messengers did not return. By midday, the command structure had collapsed. Kenjiro fought until his armor split and his blade dulled. But the numbers were deliberate, the timing exact. By nightfall, the emperor's decree had already moved faster than the battle's outcome. Kenjiro was declared disgraced. His estates were reclaimed by the crown. His household was dissolved. His wife was taken into imperial custody under charges that were never recorded. His sword, once ceremonially blessed, was broken in public, its fragments distributed as proof of judgment. He fell to his knees on the battlefield, speaking aloud as if no one remained to hear him.
Serpentine silk, you smiled while holding fangs. I drank your vows like sacred sick. Together we carve eternity. You swore off. The mist answered with arrows. Brothers turned their blades inward. Their loyalty weighed and sold in jade. I fought until steel learned the taste of rivers, but treachery does not bleed. It drowns. Then her scream, my wife's voice splitting the sky, tore the light from my ribs. You shattered more than flesh. Now I kneel in mud that once bowed to me, honor spilling out, hatred etched into bone.
He was not executed. Exile followed. One autumn eve, as golden leaves whispered their descent along a forgotten path, Kenjiro sought shelter in a roadside inn. The air hung thick with the steam of miso soup and the murmur of travelers. He sat in the shadows, his bowl cradled in hand scarred by time, the warmth seeping into palms that once wielded steel. A young warrior, barely past his genpuku, held court by the fire. His voice rose clear and bold, recounting tales of the North. And then there was Kenjiro the betrayer, he proclaimed, eyes alight with borrowed glory. A giant of a man, they say, who sold his soul for jade and turned his blade on the emperor's own. Felled in ambush by loyal hands, his name now a curse to ward off treachery. The listeners nodded, one chuckling over his sake. Aye, the fool who mistook mercy for weakness. Kenjiro's spoon paused mid-air, the salty broth turning bitter on his tongue. The fire's crackle mocked him, flames dancing like the banners he once followed. For a moment, thunder stirred in his chest, the urge to rise, to shatter the lie with truth forged in blood. But he saw the youth's unscarred face, the eager grip on his untouched katana, and recognized the empire's enduring weave. Stories spun to bind the living, not honor the fallen. He lowered his gaze, finishing his meal in silence. As he slipped into the night, the chill wind carried the inn's laughter behind him, a final distortion etched into the fading light.
Sit beneath a moon that no longer knows my name. Once I commanded the wind. Now it laughs, threading through robes too large for what remains. My arms tremble from absence, not from war. The sword that was my soul lies broken, not in steel, but in memory. Lanterns bloom in villages for mockery. Kenjiro, the fool who trusted a crown. Eyes that were storm have gone to cloud and dust. My wife, gone. My children, ash. 40 winters, and already ancient. Not dead, not living. A fallen star's last ember, learning how to fade into quiet.
He was alive. That was the extent of his victory.